Warning! Karin Slaughter has done it again. She's knocked my socks off. Heck, she knocked my whole shoe off with this one. The book we're talking about is The Secrets We Hide by Karin Slaughter. And let me just tell you, it's a good one. A really, really good one. Every book deserves a cocktail, and this one is no different, but it is different. I chose a mocktail today, and the reason being is that there was two characters in this book that were recovering alcoholics. So to honor them and to make sure that we're mixing things up and heck just giving my liver a chance to recover, we're going to do a mocktail today. And I'm calling it Jude's Secret. And so I'll share the recipe at the end and we'll talk a little bit more why I chose this for this particular book. So, a little bit about this book. It is a second part of a series. And so I went back and read the first book before the second book came out. And just to get in the mindset of where the book had been and where it was going. One thing I do love about Karin Slaughter is with this series, she has made it to where it's almost real time. So what that means is when you finish one book, she doesn't go like 10 years later, this so and so. No, it's either weeks later, 5 months later, something like that. And I really do appreciate the way she handles this. So the book is about two women, and one of the women, Jude, is my age, and I'm always fascinated when an author picks up on my generation, my age women, and what they take their character to do or doing. And Jude is a very strong, independent woman, and she comes back to her hometown, and her hometown thinks that she's dead or has been dead, and she just chose to live a different life. She got into it with her parents, and so her sister Emmy, and that who is the main character of these books, she did not know that Jude was really alive. So in the first book, Jude comes back and they start this relationship. And so the second book that we're talking about today, The Secrets We Hide, they are continuing this relationship. They're getting used to each other as sisters, but there's a secret. And this is where Karin Slaughter just absolutely kills me. And she weaves this secret into the book. However, the book starts out with a murder mystery. A murder happens, and the murder is of an abused female cop. Now, when we think about cops, we don't think about their personal life. We think about the public life that they display, and they're fighting against domestic violence. But here's this woman. She's a cop. She's a former cop, and she's living in that situation in her home. And so she is murdered, and this is within the first couple of pages of the book. So I'm not giving anything away, and I don't like to do spoilers, so I'm not giving anything away. So let's just remember that. So then, um, once that happens, um, Emmy starts investigating the murder. Now, she is grieving the death of her father, and she is grieving the death of her mother, and now she has to get back into her real life. And we're talking minutes after she's buried her mom, this murder takes place. So Emmy is doing all these things, juggling all these balls, and then she has her son there, she has her sister there, and so it's just all these family dynamics plus this murder. She was friends with this woman, and she knew that this domestic violence was going on, and she chose to not do anything about it. She ignored this woman, and she's dealing with the guilt of that. Um, Again, while investigating this murder. What I really like about what Karin does is when she describes a scene, let's say um, police crime scene, she describes it and tells the procedures that the police are going through. If it is a medical scene, let's say an autopsy, she tells that too. Why they're doing this, what this might look like, what this do. And again, I've said this before. If she writes a scene, it is horrific, and you feel what that police officer or that medical examiner is going through, their feelings, what they're seeing. And she makes it a point when you listen to her interviews to tell you why she does it so graphic, because she wants you to know what humans can do to other humans. And I think that's very important in her writing. But on the flip side of that, she can take a scene, a very gruesome scene, a very whatever, and throw one liners in it, and you just chuckle and you think, oh my gosh, that was so inappropriate. But it's so true. It shows these people as real people in real lives. And when you get into the book, and there's two characters, it's Jude and Cecilia talking to each other, and they're women my age, and they're talking about putting on some makeup, and she says something, and she said it's like a ball sack. Text me, write me, tell me if that's not the one of the funniest lines in this book. So there's a wink to you. She just puts those slides, those little one liners in it, and it just cracks me up. And it breaks up all this horrific stuff that's going on around um, the book, the plot. So it's just great. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. Another thing about Karin writing this book, the emotion that she puts in it. So Emmy is from this little town, hometown she's grown up with. Her dad has been the sheriff, and now she's the sheriff. So she knows everybody. So when she reveals who the murderer is, that is the shocker. And then again, Karin writes it so that you feel the emotion that Emmy does, because she knows these people. She knows these people personally. So that's another twist in it. And she loves, Karin Slaughter loves writing about small towns. And I'm from a small town, so I can only imagine how they felt, or the characters feel, when they're investigating these people. And sometimes in small towns, everybody knows the gossip. So they take that into account. But do they take that into account? So it's very interesting. The dynamics is very interesting. And again, I thought I had it figured out. I still think that there is a character in this book that she keeps talking about, that something's going to happen with this character. And I'm just waiting to find out. So, how many B's would I rate this? All right, Karin Slaughter, I'm giving you 4 3/4 B's out of 5 B's. And why am I doing that? Because the secret that you're keeping from Emmy, that Jude needs to tell her, is driving me crazy. Girl, you need to just go ahead and let Emmy know on it. Let her in on this big secret. It will work out. I know it will. And I can't wait. I know it's going to be another barn burner, sock throwing, book throwing book, because you, Karin, writes very, very well. To read this book, if you like fast paced, fun, funny, gruesome murder mystery, think you know who's gonna solve the mystery or who has done the murder, this book is for you. I promise you. But first, read the first book first, because you'll miss out on part of the what's going on, or you'll be a little lost. So I would recommend We Are All Guilty before you start The Secrets We Hide. Talk about the mocktail. So the mocktail, all it is cherry juice, cocktail cherry juice, and just Diet Coke. So in honor of Jude and Gerald, we're having a mocktail today. So thank you for joining me today. I'm Dana B. Let me know when you read this book, And if anybody out there knows Karin Slaughter, tell her I said, hey, girl. And she probably will get another email from me. And I just love her to death. So thank you for joining me. I'm Dana B, and this is Boozy B's Books and Cocktails. Oh, cheers.